All right, I believe we are live on Facebook. It's Dan here from Passion.io and Chanté Sandiford. How are you doing, Chanté?
I'm really well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, so good. So good. Thank you. So good. I'm really excited podcast, you guys. We should really start counting what episode number it is. I have no idea. I'm going to guess 11,
Okay.
where every week we interview a successful passion fighter about their journey with passion and with their app and find out what we can learn from them. Chanté is living in Reykjavik, Iceland, but you will probably find out from her accent not from Iceland originally, from the USA.
Yeah.
Chanté is a professional soccer player and launched the app Plant-Based Body and had some pretty amazing success within the first launch. So today the bigger topic is thriving in launch week. Chanté, so cool that you're here. Could you start by giving us a quick introduction to yourself?
Yeah. So, of course, my name is Chanté. I'm living in Reykjavik, Iceland, originally from Maryland in the United States. I am a professional soccer player. I'm playing on an Icelandic team here. I'm also a personal trainer and nutrition specialist at Reebok Fitness Iceland, and a soccer coach here for the youth. Yeah, like I coach a U12 girls team here in Iceland as well.
Whoa, I basically just heard like crazy busy all the time.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Oh
And
my
not all
word.
for the same thing either. It's like just busy in a bunch of different things. So, but
Yeah.
it's good. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So, guys, if you're watching, I see a bunch of you joining in already, which is great. Just give us a letter Y in the comments if you can hear us, if the audio is all working. Both Chanté and I, just give us a Y if you can hear us both. Okay, cool. So you've got a lot going on. My first question is, with everything going on, why was now the right time for you to launch an app?
Well, when the pandemic happens and everything kind of slowed down, all of my jobs were canceled. Like I couldn't coach kids because kids weren't having soccer. I couldn't play soccer. There were no sports. The gyms were closed. So I literally was just sitting at home with a ton of time. And it just made me realize that I need to have another way of like sharing my fitness knowledge and also creating a business where I don't need to always be physically present. Like I need to extend myself in that way. So it actually was a blessing in disguise for me having that time, because it just made me realize that, yeah, I wanted to do something like this. And I had been wanting to do it, but I didn't have the time. And now I had all of this time. So I was like, okay, this is a really good time to just commit myself to it and like see what I can actually do.
Yeah, wow. That's so I see Christian, it's working for Christian and Anik, which is cool. You guys in the comments, let us know, give us a number one in the comments if you were also impacted by the lockdown and why that was the spark for you to launch an app. So number one, if that was the spark, and a number two, if that was not the spark, if it was something else. I hear that a lot actually, Chanté, especially from people who joined in the last sort of 2-3 months. And as you imagine, we had a big spike in demand over this period because yeah, a lot of people are in a similar position. I really loved that before, when we were just chatting before we went live, I loved, Chanté, that you said that you'd actually seen one of these sessions previously with another passion fighter, and a couple of the things that we spoke about on that live gave you a little boost. So my question is, what was your biggest challenge going into launch week, your biggest hesitation, your biggest concern?
My biggest hesitation was who's gonna care, right? Like I was just like, okay, like I'm gonna put this out and people are just gonna see it and be like, oh, just another person trying to like make money, blah, 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 all this stuff. So I was worried about that. I was worried about being like white noise and putting the post out and nobody commenting or getting back to me and just like feeling embarrassed about it or whatever that is. That was my biggest like hold up about launch week, you know, and it was really nice to like watch this podcast, this live, and like seeing other people go, I did launch week, it was great, don't be scared, like all this stuff. I was like, okay, all right, other people are doing it, you can do it. If it's embarrassing, it's only embarrassing for a little bit, just go ahead and do it, right? Put everything you have into it. So yeah, that was probably the biggest hang up that I had. I was just worried about who would actually respond, you know? So yeah, I would say that was probably it.
Okay. And when you first posted that first hype post and you overcame that very understandable insecurity of like, what if no one cares? What if this is embarrassing? Describe like the minutes that followed that first scary moment where you hit publish.
Okay, so I made a video and I was like, okay, I watched it 100 times. I was like, is this good enough? Is it okay? Whatever. I'm just gonna go for it. Then I rewrote the script a little bit to make it feel more like me, and then I like put it on Facebook. I like made it short. I made the caption shorter, put it on Instagram, and then I just kind of like closed all my devices and threw them in. Was like, okay, it's out there now. Like I just have to wait. But then after I threw all my devices, I was like, wait, like no, I need to like get as many people as I can to share this for me. Like if I really want to like up my probability of people like actually responding to it, I need to get it in front of as many people as possible. So the brand that I sort of built for myself, being a vegan fitness, I'm not going to say influencer, I only have like 2,500 followers, whatever, but just this vegan health lifestyle that I've built it on Instagram. And the community that does follow me, they really do respond to these things. So I literally just got everybody that I could to share the video on their Instagram story. And that video got like 3,800 views just from me, like, yeah, just from me like sending it to like a bunch of people and being like, hey, could you repost this for me? And like surprisingly, people were like, wow, we've been waiting for you to do this. Totally. Like, and they would share it, or they'd be interested and also share it. So I was like, wow, like Instagram is like a really good like tool to use, because I was expecting just to use Facebook, you know? So yeah, Instagram, like, I think that's what really did it for me. It was just like reaching out to people, asking for favors. Can you share this? Do you know anybody? Just like really shamelessly plugging myself and just getting it in front of as many people as possible was like really what I think got me so much attention and so much feedback on it.
Wow. You know what I'm writing down as you're saying that is like asking people to share it is another channel that I haven't even put in the Expert Unleashed challenge. There's 12 channels that I say like use Instagram, use Facebook, post everywhere, right? But what you're saying is that you actually went for the multiplier effect. And if you have 2,500 followers and you have 3,800 views, I mean, usually you get about 10% of your followers see something. So that's an incredible result. How did you go about that? Imagine you were messaging me to ask me to share it. Like, what would that look like?
So I just would send a message. I'd say, hey, whatever that person's name is, I'm really excited because I am starting a plant-based fitness app. I'm super stoked on it. Like, as you know, you follow me, like this is something I'm really passionate about. And, you know, if you wouldn't mind, could you share this to your story so I can reach, you know, someone who may want to change their life with a vegan lifestyle, with a plant-based lifestyle, who needs to work out right now, like all this stuff. And like the response I got to that was really good, actually. And what I noticed is that when other people share something from somebody else, it's like that person giving their stamp of approval about this. So like, even if like, you know, I could never reach that third person, that like, what's it called? The third degree of separation, like whoever follows that person that they trust, they're like, oh, this person saw this, trusts her, so therefore I trust her, you know? And I think just coming at it genuinely and just like explaining my passion about it, and like just coming from my heart and telling people what it is I feel and like why I would like them to share it, like people just did it for me. And yeah, it ended up being really amazing, like really amazing.
Wow. Did any of those people that you asked to share it, did any of those people end up becoming a founding member?
Yeah, 2 of them became founding members, which was really nice. Which was that response of like, oh, we were waiting for you to do something like this. We've been waiting for a program from you, you know?
Wow.
Like, I am in Iceland. I can only reach so many people physically. So, I mean, a lot of people have been waiting to, you know, have the opportunity to see something from me, but I haven't really had the platform. So that was really nice to know that, you know, people were actually like caring about what I was doing, which is like what I told you. I didn't know if anybody really cared.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, so that was really nice. So yeah, 2 people became founding members, and like 7 people were people I didn't know that were like third degree, like second like degrees of separation from myself. So like, oh, I saw your post on my friend's Instagram story and I really think I want to do this. That happened. Like 8 of those people became founding members, and more than 8 of them booked calls with me, even if they didn't sign up. So it was actually like, yeah, it was really good to just branch out. Like you can branch out exponentially even, you know?
Wow.
It's like, yeah, it's really crazy.
This is so awesome. You guys watching this, a bunch of you logged in now. I see Christian and Anik and Tammy, and of course, Liam from the Passion team here. You guys in the chat right now, give us a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being, if I use this strategy, okay, that Chanté's just outlined of like asking people to share something. 10 being, if I used it, I could get in front of more people. And 1 being like, that's not going to work for me at all, and everything in between, right? 1 to 10. How much does this sound like something that could work for you to get in front of people without paying a dime for advertising, right? Chanté, that's really cool. You know what I love about it? I love that while you're asking for help, it's another way of showing your own realness, your vulnerability. It's by saying, hey, I'm not perfect. I don't have it all together. I'm looking for help. I'm asking for help. And people love helping other people actually. And
right.
and it's so cool that some of those people have said, yeah, I will share that, but actually I want that for me as well.
Yeah.
And you know, when you've also made it easy for them. And this is like something that I see a lot when people are asking for help. People message me all the time on Instagram and they say something like, can you help me? ? Send. And I'm like, I want to help, right? I love helping people, but you have to make it easy for me to help. Otherwise, like I shouldn't have to do the work to help you, right? And what you've done by saying, hey, I'm excited because I'm doing this specific thing. You tell them exactly what it is. And would you be able to help me by sharing this on your story? So you give them the asset, you tell them exactly what to do, you make it super clear that they can probably just click one button, right? And boom, yeah. This is the key, you guys, like make it really, really easy. That's very cool. Thanks for sharing that. I'm going to put that immediately into Expert Freedom, the follow-on training I'm working on right now. And I'm going to update Expert Unleashed. It's in the list of things to get updated into Expert Unleashed. Very cool. Okay, nice. So you did your launch, right? You put it out there, and yeah. And it was scary at first, and then you started getting some traction. 3,800 people saw this video. What was the process during that week for you of maximizing the results and hitting your goal?
Yeah, so once I started getting people commenting under the video that I posted, I was just reaching out to those people, just literally exactly what you said. Like on day 1, I was like, hey, there's more information coming tomorrow. Like I'll give you information on how to apply, etc. The second day I did another launch post, people were interested. And then that's when I started sending out like information on how to apply. But I felt as though it would give me more legitimacy if I sent them to a website, like my personal website, you know? So it's like, oh, okay, she's legitimate. She has a website. This is where I apply. So like I did use the type form that you said, but I just used it as a link on my own website. So I went, hey, go to my website. It's right on the homepage. Hit apply now, apply for it, book a call with me, and then we'll get started. And I don't know. I don't know why I felt that I should have done that, but I just felt like if I was being sold something to and someone sent me a web page, like their website, I would be like, oh, okay, cool. And I would feel a little bit more like it feels a little bit more legit to me, but obviously like do what feels good for you. But that's just what I felt in that moment. So I actually just like went on Squarespace, made a website, and then just put the link in there and just kind of like threw something really small together really quickly. But I think that also helped me get more return on people actually filling out the application and then actually booking a call. Was this like feeling of like, okay, this is legit, she's legit, you know? I think so, but I didn't try it the other way, so I can't compare the two.
I think in the end it's down to what gives you the confidence to put yourself out there with you know, focus and intensity, because really that's the thing that's going to shine through for people. If you're 100% behind what you're doing, that's the confidence that people need to actually see in order to really buy into something and take action.
Yeah.
So for you guys watching, I see let's jump into some of the questions and comments that we have here. It's very cool. Annie said 10 out of 10. This is that referral method's going to work for her. And Nick said 10. Tammy said 10. Christian said 10. Leah said 10. Scott said 10. This is awesome. This is gold, you guys. If you think this is gold, comment right now. This is gold. This is gold. I'll tell you why, because then when everyone else is just scrolling down Facebook and they see it live and they think, what's this? And the first comment is, this is gold, they're going to want to watch it, right? So if you think this is gold, you guys type in "this is gold" into the comment section right now. Let's jump into some of the questions from people watching. Let's see here. So Simon says, definitely already contemplating hitting up all my contacts to share and spread the message and give it their seal of approval. How are you getting on with getting new clients now? You are further down the line, as there are only a certain number of times that you can reach out to your inner circle of influence. That's a good question from Simon.
Yeah, so I'm planning on doing another 6-week challenge starting on the 19th. And my plan is basically to go about it the exact same way. Like I have a lot of video testimonials from the people who did the first 6-week challenge that I'm going to use to help me promote it. So it will be a different video. And I feel like if I just come to people genuinely and be like, hey, this 6-week challenge went great, I'm running another one, I'd love to reach as many people as possible, give them a new video to share. The thing about Instagram stories is it's really nice because people can share it and it's gone in 24 hours. They don't feel like it's on their page forever. They don't feel like it's going to mess up the flow of their Instagram. They don't feel like, you know, it's a hassle. It's just like they share it. People can click buy it if they want to. So it doesn't feel like that much to do to help someone. So I don't think I'm going to have a problem trying the same method, even if maybe only half the people do it again. You know, I had a really good result last time. Now I have proof of concept, proof of transformation. I have testimonials. So I feel like there's even more legitimacy to back it, even if I only have half the amount of people share it, if that's the case, you know? So I just think I'm going to go about it the exact same way again. But
100%. I would 100% agree. So a couple of questions around this specific strategy. We have a question from, I believe it's pronounced Bemi. I'm not sure. Let me know if I pronounced that correctly, which was simply, can you please recap, summarize the strategy again? So maybe in a few words for Bemi, what we're talking about here is when you do your launch, not only promoting it yourself on your own Instagram stories and on Instagram posts and Facebook and email and every channel that you have, but also hitting up people who you know or who are following you and asking for them to share it to their story as well. And make it really easy for them to share, be open, vulnerable about the fact that you're doing something new and that you would love to get their help. And that's the strategy on a high level. Would you add anything to that, Chanté?
No, that's basically it. Just like, yeah, just have people share it. And a lot of times, like, people in the same circle will share it. So 3 people that you follow will share the same thing. And you're like, wait, what is this? You know? So like, even just that element also to it is like, yeah. But yeah, just basically ask to share, be genuine. People will help because it's a free way to help. And people want to help other people in their business. They just don't necessarily always want to spend money.
Right.
So you just make it easy, then they can do their part, I guess, or help you, you know.
You know, I once heard something, and I'm really good at remembering quotes, but terrible at remembering names. So I can never credit people for their brilliant quotes. But I once heard someone say that the natural assumption for how to gain influence would be to help someone else, right? If you want to gain influence over someone, if you help them, you would think that's how you do it. But actually, it works the other way around. If you ask them for help, you show your vulnerability, and they do something for you, that actually gains more influence over this person than if you help them. And so I was not surprised when Chanté said that actually some of the people who Chanté asked for help actually came to Chanté and said, actually, I want to do this for me as well. It's very cool. Annie said, how do we get into expert freedom? I'm going to answer that in 1 second, Annie. Chanté, are you actually in the Expert Freedom Facebook group already or not?
Expert Freedom? I don't think so. I'm an Expert Unleashed and past Passion Fighters.
Okay, cool. Then this is good information for you as well as it is for Annie. For those of you watching, the Expert Unleashed Challenge shows you how to go from 0 to your first 5 to 15 high-paying clients. and also how to launch your app, right? Create the content and get the app out there with Passion.io. Of course, the question at that point is what now, right? And Chanté is doing exactly what I've been recommending, which is go back through the challenge, like launch another challenge, get your testimonials from your first one, show people the proof. Of course, you've now got your app, so there's a lot less work and you can focus on the promotion and marketing, etc. We are now, we just started on Monday, the follow-on training to Expert Unleashed, which is called Expert Freedom. And this shows you how to go from that first 5 to 15 high-paying clients up to your first 100 high-paying clients, and generate your first 100K of annual income. With the idea is to create a sustainable passion business, you guys, with sustainable passive income. And the biggest difference in terms of how we approach it is we still do the organic marketing and the referral marketing, but what the third dimension there is that we're showing you also how to run ads as well. Okay, so how to get eyeballs who've never heard of you before and take them through a process that converts them into a high-paying client profitably. Okay, it's our first pancake. Anyone who's been through the challenge knows what that means. It's the first time we've done this training. That's why we're running it. It's actually, if you're a member of Passion, we're giving it away for free. And in future that will not be the case. So I do encourage you guys to jump in but the prerequisite is you have to have completed the Expert Unleashed challenge. Okay, you cannot, it will not make sense to you if you've not done the challenge. So Liam, who from the team, if you're still watching, it'd be awesome if you could drop a link into the chat for the Expert Freedom Facebook group. Feel free to join. We are 5 days in, but you can catch up. We take the weekends off, so you've also got some time there. And the first week or so is also recapping some of the Expert Unleashed challenge stuff and actually creating your second pancake, because you guys have done your first pancake through the Expert Unleashed challenge. Did that make sense, Chanté?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. We'd love for you to join.
Yeah, I'd love to also. I want to make
cool.
100K.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Now, of course, guys, the process of Expert Freedom is going to take around 30 days to complete, but the goal here is it's not a one-time transaction, right? It's not a one-time thing. It's a process that you guys can use to gradually and sustainably build up to that point where you're generating passive income every month. And like I say, the goal is 100K a year, which is $8,300 per month. That's like the goal of this training. There will be a follow-on called Expert Unlimited, showing you how to get up to the 7 figures mark, but that's not happening yet, you guys. You're gonna have to wait for that one.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. So enough about me. So let's see. Lots of people here. Scott says, I'm trying this now. It's going to be awesome. Annie said, I'm excited about this strategy because I always believe my friends' recommendations. Simon is also into it. Christian said, most people want to see you succeed. Yeah, I totally agree. And Nick says, thanks for sharing your experience. My takeaway is shameless plugging into my people. Yes, Nick. Very cool. Okay, let's see. What I'm just checking if any other questions from, there's so many comments, I'm scrolling through them. So a couple of people asking about the website thing. So maybe I'll share one thing on this, and then I'd also like to get you to elaborate a little bit more, Chanté. With Passion, you can build a landing page. So on Passion apps, you have something called sales page, and that goes into your app, and it also goes into there's a web version as well. So it's like, for example, passionfighters.passion.io. It's your subdomain. Okay. So if you guys want to build out a page, you can also do that on our platform. However, you can only do so much, right? There's a certain amount of functionality, as with any platform. So Chanté, you used Squarespace, right? Do you want to explain a little bit about what you actually did there?
Yeah, so I just went on to Squarespace and decided I was going to make a website, but not anything crazy. I wasn't going to like put any programs or anything up there. I literally just wanted a space where I could like have a website that explains what the challenge is, has a little bit about me, has a link for people to apply for the challenge. So basically a website for the challenge is just what I wanted to create. And it's literally like home, about me, challenge info, and apply now. That's literally all that's on the website. It took me like 15 minutes. Just used like, I just used like templates that they offer, added a couple pictures of me, and then like that was it. And just right on the homepage, it says 6-week plant-based beast challenge, and then a big button, apply now. And I just put the Typeform link right on the apply now button.
Perfect.
And so when people were like, how do I apply? I go to my website, hit apply now, fill out the form, and book a call with me. That's what I said.
Nice.
And yeah, so, I mean, I was just thinking about what I thought would give me the best probability of success, and like what I would want to hear if someone was selling something. And I just thought, okay, this might be a little bit extra work, but maybe I'll just try it anyway, you know? So
I love it. I love it. You know, I always aim to give you guys like as much clarity about like the exact steps to take as possible. But what I love is that every time I speak to someone, they've always got like 1, 2, 3, 4 things that they've done where it just made sense to them. And it's awesome. And I learn from that as well. And other people learn from that. We're crowdsourcing, and I love what you did there. Someone is asking here, I've missed. Oh yeah, Anik was asking, does anybody know Chanté's Instagram? They wanna see what you're up to. Can you? How do we find you?
Yeah, it's Chanté Strength.
Nice.
Yeah.
Chanté Strength. So Liam, I see Liam still in the chat. Maybe you can pop a link to Chanté Strength Instagram in the chat, please, Liam. Very, very cool. Okay, so I'm going to come back to the questions in the chat in a second. But give us another scale 1 to 10, you guys, in the chat. 10 being this is gold. I love this. I'm taking something from this that's actionable. 1 being this isn't working for me. Give us a scale right now, 1 to 10 in the chat, so I see. Then I'm going to come back to any other questions you have. Like pop them immediately in the chat. We'll get to them. But I'm going to be selfish for a minute and ask some of my questions to Chanté.
Okay.
Chanté, what was your biggest like aha moment? The thing that you learned where you went like aha, you know, as you went through this process.
Yeah. So I always told people I was never a closer when it came to sales. I was like, I know what I'm selling is great, but like when it actually comes the time to be like, this is what it costs, like I never am able to like get someone to like sign up or get my coaching or whatever. And so I was really worried about the sales calls. And so I like the day before the calls, I was like reading the script 100 times and like trying to memorize it. And then like my first call, I was like so nervous and I was like trying to read the script but not look like I was. And then as the call went on, I like started looking at the script less and less. And what I learned most is that like I need to just be confident in what it is that I'm offering people, which is just like a way to better their lives. And like for me, I'm very passionate about being vegan. It's like a very important part of my life. And like I'm also very passionate about fitness. And like if I'm just genuine and talk to people in that way, then that's going to come across. And it's going to make people feel more comfortable, 1. And 2, the thing I learned from the program was like, when I started the call, we would have our small talk or whatever. And then I would say like, you know, I'm really looking for someone who's going to commit to this 100%, who's ready to change, who's ready to, you know, who's ready to make a change, transform, like who's in a place where they want to get out of, just really like painting this picture of who the person is that I would want. And by the end of the call, it almost felt like they were selling themselves to be in my program, you know? And just because like they can feel your passion, and they also like, they came to you for a reason. And when you're saying these things like, you want to change, you want to lose weight, get toned, you want to do better with your nutrition, you want to stop eating meat, you want to stop eating dairy, you want to do all these things. And I'm looking for that kind of person. And they take it on themselves and they go, well, I'm that person. I'm going to prove to you that I'm that person. So the whole call is just you going back and forth, like, and them telling you like why they need it so badly, and you telling them that you can give it to them. And then by the end, they're like, yes, what does it cost? And you're like, it costs this much. And they're like, great, I need this. And I never knew that that's where I needed to be coming from. You know, I was always coming from the place of like, you know, if you do need help, then I could be that person. But really, it's the other way, you know, like you are giving them something that's going to change their lives, hopefully for the long term and in the best way possible. So it's just about like, yeah, just knowing your worth and also like telling them who you are looking for and seeing if they're that person. Because a couple of times they weren't that person. I said that on the group. I was really surprised that I had to say no to 2 people, because when I was like, I need people who are committed, they're like, well, you know, I have a lot going on right now and I just don't know if I'm going to have the time. And I was like, you know what, that's okay. Maybe this isn't for you. And when I have my, you know, subscription to the app and you can take things at your own pace and like choose what you do, that might be better for you. And they were a little bit shocked, but I was like, you know, like I wanted this to be a beta test for what I'm actually doing. So I need testimonials, I need transformation photos, I need people who are committed. And so, yeah, it kind of just like changed my attitude towards sales calls, as like now I feel more confident going into them. I didn't need the script in the end. It was just like the same sort of, what's the English word I'm looking for? It was the same sort of like pattern each time. Yeah. Like just, hi, how are you? This is who I'm looking for. Let's see if this is going to work out for you. What do you need? What would you like? Where do you want to be? Okay, I think this is good for you. Boom, this is what it costs. That was literally every call. And I was so surprised that after every call, almost every call, I was like ringing the bell. I was like, no way, is this really all it took? Like, come on. Like, and I actually like had a bell. Oh, it's not here anymore, but I had a bell. And after every call, I would just be here like, yeah. And I was like so stoked, because that was always what I felt was holding me back. And just that little bit of sales training, like, I don't know how long the video was, like 10 minutes of just like, you know, just having the script as a guideline and just seeing what this, like, not necessarily saying it word for word, but what the script is actually trying to get you to do, like in your own words, even. Yeah. It's just, yeah, it's so valuable. It's like, I can't believe it. I never thought I was a salesperson. And like, here I am, like super excited to get on sales calls. It's crazy. Like,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
You know, I went to a talk with Jack Daly, who's a sales coach from the US, and he's run like some of the biggest, most successful sales teams in the US, like thousands of salespeople. And he said that the highest form of selling, the best salespeople in the world, they are the people who will actually not sell to you if it's not the right thing. And they're the people who end up being most successful, because really selling is like figuring out if your solution is going to solve a problem for them. And if it's not, and you're honest about that, that integrity is worth 10 times any objection handling technique and whatever. So I love that you're doing that. And I love that you're approaching it from that place of authenticity and not just like rigidly following a script, but rather taking like the essence and being yourself through that. So cool. What was your, I always talk about like the scary moments and the insecurities, because I think that's important. But you've been through this process, and I can feel your energy around the whole thing. Like, do you remember the highest moment where you were like, what is going on? Like super pumped.
Yeah. So I had 6 calls one day, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be really happy if I get 3 out of these 6 calls. And by the end of the day, I booked 6 of the 6 calls. And I was like, is this my life? Like, what is going on here? Like, did I really just like make $1,800 in a day? Like, how did I just do this? And I've been trying to do this for so long, you know, like trying to like show people my value, but also like give them something and like have them actually like buy into it and like feel my energy and all this stuff. I was having such a hard time with that. And then like I did a 10-minute training video. I got like this like outline of what to say and what I should try to get across. And then all of a sudden it was just like, boom, that's how easy it is. And I was just like, wow, like, can I take 30 clients? No, I can't take 30 clients. That's too many clients. I gotta like, you know, like I was just like in this like crazy feeling. I don't know. It was just, I thought I could be successful in this, but I didn't know how successful. And I was very anxious to start. And I'm really glad that I just like threw the anxiety away and just like went for it anyway and went 100%, did everything I thought I needed to be the most successful, and like just went 110% into it. And I got the results that I wanted because I did that. And because I I don't know, I just kept my energy and my vibration really high. I don't know if anyone, I don't want to like throw things on anyone, but that's how I like live my life. Like I live like by vibrations and frequency and energy. And like, I was like, okay, I'm just going to like go into this. Like I'm successful. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to like do this, do that. And then, yeah, I just followed everything that you said and just like did it in a way that felt genuine to me and just brought Chanté to it. And people were responding to it. And it just made me feel so good, you know?
Super cool. Super cool. A couple of questions from the chat. Marina said, did you use video calls or phone calls? And also, what was the price that you were charging, if you don't mind sharing that?
Yeah, so I use video calls. I use Zoom. I booked them on Calendly. I literally did everything that you said to do in EUC. And the cost of my program was $279. And I was originally going to charge $379, but I felt as though with this first go round, I wanted to make it a little bit more approachable in order to garner more success. Because my goal was 15 clients, and I felt like I could have gotten 5 clients at a higher price, but I wanted to get 15 because I wanted to have a higher probability of good transformations and testimonials for the next round. So I just decided bring the price down a bit and try to reach more people. And I think it worked, but I obviously can't say because I didn't try to charge $379.
Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, people are loving this. Tammy says that's a great point. Find the people who are committed. Yeah, Marina says 10 out of 10. Christian says 10. Very cool. Okay, if someone was at the beginning of this process, I don't know if you guys watching, if some of you are at the beginning of this process and you haven't yet launched, or you're earlier on, what would be like advice that you would give someone who's starting out?
I would say that, the first week or two, there's a lot of like exercises that we go through that might feel like, oh, this is just, I don't know, I'm going to write my diary entry, or I'm going to like answer these questions or whatever, but it's really important. And like figuring out who your client is, what you're passionate about, your angle, like all these things before you start selling is super important, because you want that confidence going into your sales calls, knowing that you've got it all figured out and you have your not theme. Sorry, I've got 2 languages in my head right now. You've got your, you have, what's the word I'm looking for? Just you have your brand figured out, because if you don't have it figured out, you're going to come across not confident, or like you don't really actually know what you're selling. So like just go through everything, do it 100%, like really figure these things out, like take the time, figure out who your client is, what you're going to call them, like what these people believe, like all of these things. And then when it comes to launch week, just jump in, like just hold your nose, jump into the cold water, do it, like just go and do it. And just share as much as possible, get it in front of as many people as possible. And yeah, just, I don't know, I would say follow blindly, but because that's just how I feel. Like it's really set up for you to succeed. Like I'm like, I don't know, I'm just really happy with the program in general. Like I would just say follow it blindly, like just do everything. And then and then launch week is scary, but go for it. Like go for it 100%.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I'm always struggling, like in my own mind, I want to give people a lot of clarity of what's to come, give them that high level overview. At the same time, I don't want to overwhelm people, and I understand that sometimes like writing let's say your dramatic declaration, which is like how to achieve your biggest goal without biggest fear, it's something where people might just be like, yeah, whatever, but actually everything builds on the last thing. And so when it really matters, when you're launching your app, you need all of that stuff, right? And it all happens in that order for a reason. And so I'm always a little bit torn, but it's really cool to hear you say that in the end it's about like trusting the process and following. And Yeah, that's really, really cool. You guys watching this, as we come towards the end of this Passion to Profession podcast, just type in the comments for me, like, what is your key takeaway from the session? If there's one thing that you are either going to think or do differently as a result of our conversation today, I want to know what it is, because I've got about 3 or 4 already for myself, so I'm sure that you guys have as well. So drop them in the comments, your key takeaway. And while people are doing that, Chanté, imagine you're walking down the street, right, and you bump into someone who, if you've seen this podcast before, you'll have heard me ask this question. You bump into someone and they say, "Oh, Chanté, I saw you on that podcast with Dan last night. I'm actually thinking about joining Passion and doing this challenge and building an app, but I'm not sure. I'm a bit skeptical," right? Which is understandable. People are skeptical about stuff. Yeah. What would you say to that person if you were speaking to them right now?
I don't know. I think I would just tell them my story, I would just say, listen, like the program is built for you to succeed. And they take you through a program where each step builds on the last until you finally have your vision, your brand sorted, and you're ready to go forward with confidence to share your knowledge and your product with other people, confidently knowing that you have a brand and they could possibly fit into it. Like, you have this sort of new attitude going forward. I started coaching and I was just thinking about coaching everyone. I was like, oh, I can make anybody a better athlete. I can make anybody more fit. I can do anybody. But it's way better when you have a niche and you figure out who exactly it is that you're trying to help, because then people feel more connected to you when they know that you're looking for something specific, as opposed to you're just looking for anyone, and you also connect more with niche markets because they feel more personal to you. So if I were to go to somebody who's vegan and say, hey, I have an app and I do carnivore diets and vegan diets and I, blah, blah, blah. They might think, well, I kind of want someone who knows where I'm coming from, who's also vegan, who cares about veganism and for the same reasons that I do, or whatever the reason is. So there is a community. There is a community for literally everyone, and there are enough people to that you're going to find that are going to be in your community. So if I took anything away from Passion, other than the success I had in the challenge, it was narrowing it down, finding my passion, and finding other people with the same one. And yeah, so even if Passion only did that for me, I would still sign up for it, because it changed how I'm going to do business going forward. That's what I would say to that person, I guess.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah. I've heard people say as well, again, a quote, I never remember the name, but you can't go broke investing in yourself. And that's what you're doing, right? You're investing in yourself, because this knowledge and this experience that you're gaining through the process is not something that goes away. You're investing in yourself, and you never go broke doing that. So many people have had some really cool takeaways from this. Simon says, getting my details down very clearly, be energetic and passionate about what I can genuinely do for people that are ready to engage and need my help. Maggie's key takeaway is about making the call about commitment. I love that. Tammy's is reach out to my friends who've supported my journey to increase my influence by sharing info about my app. Leah said, my applications didn't turn into calls, they turned into texting. Okay, and it's too easy for people to say no over text. So next time I'm going to make sure to set up calls. 100% agree, Leah. 100%. Anik says, be authentic, know what you do offers value and offers value to others, and go for it. Very cool. And there's a bunch more. Won't have time to go over all of them, but thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and being a very engaged audience, if that's what we should call it on Facebook Live. I don't know. But yeah, thanks so much. Chanté, is there anything else you want to share to me or the people watching?
Yeah, get your payments while they're on the phone. Do it. Don't wait. I have to say, get it while they're on the phone. A few times they were like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I don't have my card with me right now, blah, blah, blah. like they're not coming back as much as you think they're coming back. And you said that in the thing, but I just thought I would say it also, like, get your payments on the phone. But yeah, I think that's about it. And just like, don't be discouraged, don't be anxious, just go through it. Like, fight through anything that you might be feeling that's holding you back, because you're just, you know, you're just blocking your success in that. Just go for it. Try it. Do, like, invest in yourself, put your energy into it, commit 100%, and just be yourself, be genuine, and you'll find the right people.
So cool.
Yeah.
Chanté, thank you so much. I love your energy. I love your passion. I love how you've had this success and that you're like pushing forward with it. I really hope you join the Expert Freedom Group as well. I've just posted, cool. I just posted the link in the chat for you guys. Anyone watching, and also Chanté, join in that group. There's around 90 or so people going through it at the moment, and it's a really good time because, of course, everyone's sharing their, you know, their takeaways, etc., and learning from each other. It's been a pleasure, Chanté. Thank you so much. I've loved it. I've taken so much from it. I hope you did as well.
I did.
And speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.